So this is my first podcast. My name is Ali. I'm a promoter of CSL. I also own a supplement company called Swole Nutrition. I have a tub right here next to me. And to be honest, I'm just gonna style it out. I'm not gonna try and introduce myself too much. Some of you guys already know me, so I thank the support. Um, I'm just gonna try and flow, basically. It's my first time kind of being in front of camera and doing this. So, oh, right. What was my schedule? I had a schedule written down because I planned to talk about a few things. Let's just see if the mic is decent. That's the first thing. Okay. So I'm gonna basically answer the questions that are on Instagram first. Then on, I had a few people message me privately as well, so I'm gonna read some of those questions, and then just go with the flow from there, man. I was actually gonna go live, but I can't be bothered. I'm just gonna post it out there, man. Let people talk about it themselves. Okay, question. Okay, so I'm on Instagram. Who's the infamous Assad? Who is the infamous Assad? Assad is a young lad. He's 17 years of age. He just turned 17. But I met Assad when Rebwa gave me a call. Reb Abdullah, he's the cruiserweight champion for CSL, and he's well known in Woking. Everyone knows Rebwa. They all love him. Lovely big bear. And he said to me, I remember when I was doing my second show, and I was stressing over it. I remember stressing over that one a lot. And he come up to me and said to me, "Yo, Ali, I've got a kid who's trying to get some experience." So this kid Assad came in, and he comes up to me and goes, "Look, I can help you out. What do you want help with?" I remember he coming at me. He's a short kid, big smiley face on him. And I'm thinking, you cheeky little shit, what's this kid going to be up to? Is he going to say, "Oh, I want to help out," and then just chill? Or is he going to actually want to help out and really see how far he can push his own potential? Because he's a young lad. I was, 28 by the time, 27. And I said to him, all right, my ringside. I was prepping the ringside for the first show, for second show in December. And I go to him, "Look, let's get that organised, because that's a nightmare if you ask my team." So he got the stickers out. I gave him the guest list, and he organised it well, which is funny because it sounds like it's easy, but legit, man, people make so much mistakes from just doing that. So he was practical. It showed me that hands-on, he can get things done visually. Obviously I can get him to pick things up and move things around, but that's a very basic thing to do. I wanted to see if his brain was able to, if he was able to adapt to, kind of a new role I was going to give him. I'm not going to give him these roles where you're just going to pick up boxes and stuff. Do you know what I mean? That's a piece of piss. So for me, it showed that he's well organized and he's a good listener. So as I said, if you're probably going to watch this podcast, it's probably the only time you're going to get a compliment from me. But he showed me that, this kid's on it. And I remember I even got a few of these names wrong, because on the way I set up the show, I have to also do the drawings of how it's going to look. Otherwise, if there's no visual imprint of how you're going to set it up, you're going to make a huge mess. So Assad's seen the map, the layout, and he's doing his thing, he's organizing it and stuff like that. And then then I remember him sitting down and just watching the show, which is funny. I don't really know much about what happened on that day, apart from just meeting a kid that I've only just known for like a few minutes from Rebwa, who helped me out. And obviously I'm going to let him sit ringside. Why not? Have fun. Go do it. And it was funny because when I did my first show, I didn't expect more youngsters to come to our boxing shows, to our local boxing shows. And it was nice. It showed that maybe maybe this platform has kind of, touched some of these young lads, and they want to focus on their energy and more of like a scenario where we've got local fights happening. I mean, the fight game is ridiculous. Everyone is always talking about the fight game. So why not try and be a part of it by setting up a platform and getting kids like Assad to just, get an experience or get a certain energy from this platform and then walk away, with something new. And I think that's what Assad has done. I think, well, since then, Assad has been a major part of the team, even in the management. He's a big part of the hierarchy there. There is a hierarchy in a way. But yeah, that's the infamous Assad. He actually now organizes a lot of the things for me, like in terms of the admin side of things. In terms of matchmaking, it would be me and Madassa. Anyway, I'll introduce you guys about Madassa. But with Madassa, me and him will do the organizing in terms of matchmaking. Then we'll give the information to Assad. Assad will take the data and he will either upload it on my Excel sheets or on Word documents or whatever. So these are the things that he does, and he's really good at it. So technology-wise, and his computer literacy is very good. I think it's probably better than mine. I'm not great with technology. This setup, my God, man, I swear to God, if this video comes out quite good, it's because I've took God knows how long to set this fucking thing up. It's a piss take, mate. I don't recommend anyone do this. But yeah, I'm actually happy that we got him now, because the last show was by far the easiest show I've ever organised. And that's down to mainly Assad as well, of course, Some of this stuff I'm definitely not replying to. Talk about my story. To be honest, man, my story is going to be too long, but I'm going to try and keep it as short as I can. I think it was important that we set up a platform where we can kind of entertain people. Because I get bored quick. So I wanted to entertain as many people as I can. I thought, okay, cool. What's going to be exciting in Woking? Because if I'm going to do an event, it needs to be good, and this was like before even I was thinking what am I going to do? Am I going to organize football tournaments for the town? Because I remember we used to do football tournaments and we used to love it. Everyone used to be out doing football tournaments. We all come out, all communities would be out, and it's just the energy is just so nice. You meet so many people, so many characters, man, and it's lovely. I love it. You take the piss out of each other. Why not? I love it, mate. It got to be done. But you don't have that now in Woking. We haven't had any tournaments. We haven't had times where you just meet the lads even. So this platform was like, how do I get more people out? I thought of boxing. Why not? People are always in the fight game, so why not give it a go? So I remember starting doing the first show. I was preparing for it and stuff. I put my head down. I worked my socks off. I was constantly learning about the fight game. I was learning about the gloves, the type of leather you need to have. There was the amount of factors behind just having the right gloves for your platform was so important in regards to health and safety as well, in regards to conveniency for the fighters and coaches. So there was like just small things that I was learning. But I remember every single day I had a question. So while I was preparing for this platform was just merely a few lines on an Excel sheet, a few lines on a Word sheet. I was just setting goals up, saying like, okay, cool. If I know where to get the gloves from and I know what gloves I need and the sizes, what's the next thing I need to do? Find suppliers and stuff like that. Can a get these type of gloves? So there's like, so many there's so much detective work behind promoting a boxing show. People have absolutely no fucking clue. Have no clue that the amount of information that goes through your head when you're organizing stuff like this. For me, it's easy now. It's easy to organize a boxing show, but I can promise one thing: whenever I've met someone, and there's a few new white collar boxers that have come in, whenever I met people. And I know a lot of white collar promoters around the local area, even just out of Woking. I know a few. I even know a few from up north, lovely people. They will all say the same thing. They will agree with me. It's not fucking easy, man. It ain't easy. It's the hardest thing they've had to organize. And and it's a skill. Once you've learned this skill of setting up a show, once you've done it, you're at a situation where every show needs to be better. So there is pressure behind you. So I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm preparing this first show. I need to try and make it as best as I can. So once I'd done the first show, I was like, okay, this is the best I've probably done. This is the most I can do. I can't do anything better. It was crazy. It was a good show. We had an amazing first show. The first show we had we co-promoted it alongside another promotion company, TB Promotions from Slough, and it was nice. It was a good hype behind it. So what we decided to do is just do Woking versus Slough. And I was thinking to myself, I'm up for it. I'm sure the guys that are doing training camps at Shane Kicks, my training camps, they're up for it. Because it's just a bit of rivalry, a bit of healthy competition. So when we were promoting it, of course you're going to talk shit. We're talking shit online and stuff. Ali's a lovely guy. We're talking a lot of shit. It's funny. We're posting out on social media. You know how promoting works, man. You know how the media or how everyone just loves negativity. So when you're on that, you're talking drama. You're talking a lot of shit talking, and that's exactly what me and TB Promotions were doing to promote the show. And I was thinking, is people going to buy into that, or are people going to be like, nah, I'm not really going to get into this. Maybe they don't like me. Maybe it's not for them. Maybe they got other things that are going on, because it's normal. There's so many factors behind why things might not pop. But it was mental. The response that we got from the town was amazing. It showed me that we weren't like pushovers, because we're a very small town. Don't get me wrong, based just out of London. We're in the perfect location. I'll tell you that now. But as a community, it was nice to see. We had a lot of people bonding together, training hard together. Even during camps, they would exchange numbers and have private sessions outside of camp to try and be better, because most of the guys were matched up with the guys from Slough, from TB Promotions. So it made those fights interesting. And obviously when fighters bring their own crowds, that's when the atmosphere comes in. And I think if you look at my videos, if you've been to my live shows, my atmosphere has been breathtaking. It's always been amazing. It's always been very good. You always hear crowds, different crowds. You'll hear rowdy crowds. This is just how it is. Maybe it's because of the way we promote, because some of the fights, they turn out to be beef fights, some of my title fights, and I think because we're promoting so much, because we're recording so much, because we're trying to get our image out there, people are on their phones. They want to see what's happening locally. Let's be real, if you see someone doing something from local ends, you're probably going to watch it. And it got them excited, obviously. So the first show was amazing. We've done absolutely amazing. The first show was also my first charity show, like proper charity show. The idea was, if I'm gonna promote boxing shows, the boxing show has to be, I have to, sorry, let me just turn this off. The boxing shows, when I do the first one, the idea was, inshallah, if I get the blessings for it, and if my charity does well, so the charity cause that we do it for, if it does well, then I'll know that this is probably the right path for me to go to. Maybe it's a sign that you should carry on doing this, give it a go from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I'm not the most religious guy, but I do believe in blessings, and I think that's important, because if you're doing something and it's not working for you, some will say to you, just keep pushing, you'll eventually get there. And I do agree. But there's a certain extent where, if it's already at the end of the line, if you're already facing a wall and you're trying to go through it, it's not gonna work. So maybe try and find another route. That's what I'm trying to say. And I think that's the signs that you kind of have to look for when you're making moves like these, because this was the most nerve-wracking thing I've ever done in my life, but I wanted to give it a go. I didn't really care. And and it was amazing, man. The first one, we raised money for Syria relief, and we raised over £6,000 alone for the company, which was amazing, mashallah. So that was enough to get a crate. It was a crate of supplies, so medical supplies, clothing, food, water, shelter supplies. So all these things we were able to put in a crate. And it was with the help of Shah Jahan Mosque. Thank God for them, And I was dealing with brother Habib, lovely guy, honestly one of the most nicest people. I've grew up with him for years, and he's one of the nicest people I've ever met. I remember sitting at his house, and he's just telling me, okay, look, if you want to do this, you got to do it this way, because I can't even, if someone asked me, hey, can you send a crate to Syria? I'm like, mate, I got no clue, son. I can barely charge my phone. But Habib was the right person to go to, and he was able to, use me as a fundraiser for getting this done. And since then, it's been amazing. I've been so grateful for this opportunity. So, I've never done a charity as big as this before. I couldn't even imagine it. I remember I was in the mosque. I got the call, come down, check out the mosque. And I looked in the mosque, and I was looking at all the supplies and stuff. And I was just like, wow, this is amazing. And what was even better, right? So Leon Garman pulled out because he had an injury or something like that. Something that was going on. He had some personal stuff going on, actually, I remember. And he was at the mosque helping out. And I was like, man, that is rated. Fair play to you, man. Seriously. I remember saying, what are you doing here and stuff? And he was like, look, man, I want to help out. I want to do this stuff. I was like, mate, you're such a lovely guy, man. Fair play to you. And I think it's things like these that are important. And it's nice to see people from different communities, helping each other out for a good cause. And I think that's probably the reason why I still want to keep doing it, this platform. Because I just want to see if I can grow it to a certain extent. Maybe I can have like a fundraiser alongside it, and then we can do like a good charity thing. So there's quite a few things I'm sure I can organize in the future. I've only been doing this for 2 years, man. But yeah, that's probably the reason why I'm still going and still doing shows. I love doing boxing shows, man. I'll tell you straight, absolutely love it. I love the banter behind it. I love the shit talking behind it. So yeah. Okay. So next question, yeah. Okay, here we are. Okay, big up. Hold on. How do I? Okay, here we are. Big up Assad and Moods and the setup team like Gotti, Bakr, Zain, Obi, Mido, Bo, Dan, and Zoz. Okay, yeah, obviously big respect to those guys for the last show. That was very nice. Smoothest show we've done by far. When is this show date for CSL 5? We originally had it planned for August. Because of this outbreak, we don't know what we're going to do. I told people I was going to have a break in March. So the idea is that we do it in August. To be honest, I've heard rumors that it's going to get better in May. Not sure. If it gets better in May, then of course we're going to have it on. If it doesn't, we're looking at December or October. I'm going to have to keep pushing the shows back. So yeah, we'll have to just see how it goes. If they're saying it is 3 to 6 months, then we're just going to have to do one show in December. Just a massive show, which would be upsetting because, it's been a whole year of no shows. But to be honest, I'm sure people heard about it recently. UFC 249 has been cancelled. There's so many major sports that are going on. So of course, who the fuck am I? I'm going to be shot. But yeah, we don't know about that yet. But when I do get, information, then, we'll get onto that, and, we'll see what we can do. What's the next question? Matchups and rumors. Rumors, yeah. Okay, let's see what's my current Excel sheet saying. I should have had it all here, but I really don't care. Okay, we have done matchups. We've had coaches saying, "Look, man, it's too early to do matchups. Allow it." I'm like, "Look, mate, this is what we got to do, man. We're promoters." I've done matchups with Madassa anyway. Let's see what we got. What? Last time I done it was that date? Nah, man. Okay, so we've got a few that are confirmed. We've spoken to the fighters. These are confirmed. Okay, no, that's the different database. I don't want that one. Okay. The second database is a different location. That's going to obviously have to go back now in terms of plans. But the matchups we've got is Kane Mansi and Stuart Milton. They're going to be fighting in potentially, if anything, 12 ounces. The fight they were going to be fighting at 80 kg. That's Stuart Milton and Kane Mansi. The next one we've got is Zach Whitelock and Aman Hussein. So I'm interested to see that fight. Because both of them, I don't think they've lost. Aman's won by knockouts, and Zach recently had a big fight against Farzan. Farzan's a solid competitor from Slough, top fighter. So that's going to be an interesting fight. The next one is a title fight, no doubt about it. This is a light heavyweight title fight. It's going to be Ian Glass and Callum Beeman. I already messaged them. They're probably out of their heads right now. I wouldn't be surprised if half these guys are out of their heads right now because of the quarantine. But from where I see it, from my standpoint, these are confirmed fights. If they're not, I'm sure I will know. But Ian Glass and Callum has to happen. The first fight was a war. If you were there in Aldershot, you would know. Both knocked each other down, and the fight went on to points. So that fight, we're going back. We're going to run that one back, 100%. And I think we're going to do that in 12 ounces as well. According to this laptop that Assad runs, this is a confirmed fight at this weight. The next one is Super Ali versus Matt Inns. I'm excited to see that fight. Super's got a chin, man. He takes licks, mate. He takes big licks. Matt Inns, he fought against, what's his name? Who did he fight, man? Umar Malik. He fought Umar Malik. Umar Malik's a tough guy, man. Mashallah, 40 years of age and he's still going strong. That's amazing. But yeah, Umar beat Matt Inns. And they're both, for some reason, I don't know what it was. I can't remember now. For some reason, I made this fight and I don't know why. There must have been another outside influence involved in it. Some of these fights that I make, there's always a certain amount of outside influence. This one, however, I think this one made it itself. This was Ruhil Nasser versus Harry Camden. That's a rematch that we're going to do. According to both the boys, it's confirmed. It's done. They both want to fight each other. I know that I've tried to offer Harry Camden another opponent, but Harry Camden, he accepted the fight. Harry will accept a fight with anyone. But the opponent that I offered, his coach pulled him out. So it made sense to get this rematch done. Initially, I wasn't sure about doing the rematch. I know that people were saying the fight is controversial. I've yet to post the videos out for them. I've been delaying it because there's obviously so much going on. And I'm taking a break. But give it time. I've got a guy who's working on my videos. I've just sent him a missing file. There was a missing file which was important for his editing. I've sent off some information for him. And now he's just going to finish off the videos. So those videos will be coming out soon. All my fights on YouTube. There'll be 20 extra fights coming up on my YouTube channel. So make sure you follow in Combat Sports League. Ring that bell so that when you get a notification, you know it's because I've not just posted on a podcast episode, but I've also posted a fight. So the fights will be coming up as well. But that's a big fight because, to be honest, these two guys now, I've just been hearing shit talking online. I got tagged in one of these. One of them was like, listen, bruv, are you going to sort this out? I don't remember if I sent a messages probably saying, look, man, I think I've tried to squash the beef a few times a little bit. I wouldn't say I've tried to squash it complete dead. But it's more like trying to get them to, just chill out a little bit. Because these two guys were fucking screwing at each other raw. They don't like each other, let's be real. And this fight, after they had this fight, because it was controversial, Harry's saying I hit him with an uppercut, and Rahil's saying he got hit by a headbutt and he couldn't continue. This was the main event, by the way, just to let you guys know. The beef started continuing on online. A lot of Harry's lot was saying he quit and stuff like that. So obviously Rahil was pissed off, mate, I was hurt and stuff like that, and I couldn't continue. So yeah, we're definitely going to run that fight back. I'm pretty sure Harry's going to be happy with that as well, because I know that Harry and Rahil both, to be honest, have plans to go to amateur boxing, and I think they're both skillful lads. Harry's a very skillful lad. Harry's had a lot more. I think he's had more fights than Rahil. He's a phenomenal fighter, Harry is. And he's got heart, man. I've seen some fights. I've seen some of his wins and some of his losses. And to be honest, some of his losses have been a bit controversial, to be honest. He's a sick fighter, man. I like him as well. He's a nice guy. But a message to these guys, obviously. This fight, it's going to happen. The rematch. It's 12 ounces. Of course, and Harry is the champion. Harry is the CSL champion. He's a light middleweight champion. So, of course, he's going to defend. The next one is a fight that we're looking to make. I think it's confirmed. I'm not sure if it is, because the colours aren't changed as I want it to, but it's Rebois versus Julian Polk, and that's a big fight. Because Rebois undefeated, he's just basically train wrecked everyone, really. And Julian Polk is a savage. I've seen his fights, and he's definitely up for it. And I've spoken to Rebois as well. Rebois knows it. I've met Rebois a few times in the gym. Rebois knows he's got a fight in his hands, because Julian Polk is not going anywhere. He will stand toe-to-toe with you and throw down. So that's going to be a sick fight. If anything, I might try and interview those two boys. Let's get this outbreak out of the way, and we can start interviewing some of these lads. I've got this platform now. Why not? We can call them on Skype and maybe get their face on the screen and stuff, and we can see what they say. Another fight. A lot of people ask me. It's so funny. The locals ask me this. I don't expect this to go viral. Of course not. The locals asked me about Hayden Lee versus Idi Rafiq. I think that'd be a jokes fight. Legit. I think that'd be a sick fight as well. I think it'll be funny because Idi is going to make it funny. I think that's what he's going to try and do. He's going to make it funny. But I rate Idi, man. I remember, he out of the blue, he calls me. I don't know, who's this guy's number? You alright, mate? I was like, who are you? Oh, my name's Idi. I'm here to help out, I'm like, what do you mean help out? He goes, I just want to fight, I want to get into a fight. I go, alright, cool. How much you weigh? He goes, I weigh this much. And he wanted to fight Shane Osmond. To be honest, I think Shane Osmond won the fight. Let's be real. I'm not being a dick or anything. I'm pretty sure if you guys are watching this podcast, you'll probably agree as well that Shane probably won that round. The second, he won by 2 rounds. But Idi's first fight was Shane, and Shane's as tough as they come in that division. Very tough guy. I'm looking forward to seeing Shane back in the ring, and I'm sure a lot of people are as well, because Shane and Akbar Shah had a wicked fight. That was an incredible fight. But yeah, and Hayden Lee's coming off a huge win. There was so much hype behind Hayden Lee now, because Hayden fought Hassan Sher, and Hassan Sher is a very well known local Pakistani. Lovely guy, top lad. I got a lot of respect for him. In fact, he's actually even helped me out with setting up a show in December for some of you who don't know. So I've got a lot of love for Hassan Sher. Of course, I don't think Hassan Sher took the fight seriously, but Hayden beat him. He stopped him. Sam fight against Jack Cullen was a big one as well. In my opinion, I think Sam won that fight. But I'm pretty sure a better version of both those boys can happen again. The rematch we're probably going to have to negotiate in the future. Let's just see. We don't know yet. But yeah, I mean, in terms of other matchups, I've got a few here, but we're not going to mention about them. We're going to keep those ones a bit quiet. But I promise you, the next show, CSL 5, is going to be the biggest show you'll ever see. And it's going to be full of action. Big action. We're not going to be playing games. Well, we never play games anyway. Let's see what other questions we got. Most improved fighters. Okay, so my most improved fighters, if I was to rank it, I would probably give it to Ryan Cabana. I think Ryan Cabana, in my opinion, is the most improved guy I've seen in boxing. He's obviously training with Stephen Walsh, but what was funny is his first fight, I don't think he was training with Stephen Walsh. I think he was coming to Maida Gym every now and then, I'm not sure. But you can go check out Ryan Cabana. He's on Facebook. Lovely guy. But I remember he'd done a few white collar shows. His first one, he fought against Rahil Nasser's brothers. What's his name? Man. You got Rahil. You got. I can't even remember his name. I can't believe it. I don't remember his name. That's crazy. But yeah, he fought one of the brothers, Ryan Cabana, and to be honest, Ryan did alright. He was aggressive in that fight, and I think that's why I can understand why he won that fight. The first round was getting caught a lot, and he won the fight though. I think his aggressiveness and fighting on the front foot was the reason why he won that first fight. Then his second fight was against a guy called Henry. Henry had better footwork. These fights, by the way, just to let you know, you can look at them on the UWCB website. Just write down Ryan Cabana, UWCB. It should really come up there. You probably see all his early fights. I remember him from the earlier fights because I've known him from time. We knew each other. We fought in the same show. His second fight, he didn't win. He lost that one. But I could tell he took that fight. He lost it. I think he got upset. He must have got upset. Must have. He's a young lad. You know, you feel like shit sometimes. Some people take losses badly. Some people be like, fuck's sakes, man. You know, this is not how I should be conducting myself in the ring. I should be better than that, and stuff like that. And I think with when he fought the second time against Henry, I think he tried to see if the aggression would work, and it wasn't working because Henry was able to cut the angles and land shots. But you could tell his hunger was there, and he's physical. He's a physical lad. You look at him, he looks like a statue, mate. And then he fought on my show. Okay, he fought on my show, and it was the first one. It was my first show in what's it called? August the 17th. We did a show called The Takeover when it was Woking versus Slough. So Ryan Cabana goes, listen, I want to get involved. I go, listen, mate, no problem, brother. He brought his crowd down. He came in. I remember I had it all set up for him. He came in, and I remember before even this, we were organising the matchups. And I said to him, listen, this is a big fight for you because, you know, you've been through some shit. Okay, and this is something, obviously, I'm not going to talk about it here. But he's been through some shit. So this fight was important for him because he needs to fight for something. And I think for him he's fighting for a future. He needs to fight. And also he's fighting to understand about himself and where he can push himself mentally and physically. In training, the guy was a phenom. I'm going to just tell you that now. He was a monster. And then I remember he turned up at the presser and he sees his opponent for the first time. You know, he's fighting a experienced southpaw. Just to let you know, Ryan has only had I think under 3 fights, if that. This guy had 7 fights. Because the reason why some of our guys lost against the Slough guys is they were much more experienced, of course. Our guys were fighting for the first time. But, so Ryan fought this guy and he beat him. I was like, what? He beat him, mate. Just chopped right hands like it was nothing. Guy had no clue how to handle Ryan's speed and power. And Ryan won his first fight with us. And I remember his first fight, he was absolutely ecstatic. He loved it. And he was so happy. And And now you look at him flourishing. He's now got a coach, Stephen Walsh. He's a father now. He's got a lovely boy. And basically, he's doing so well. Look, you know, in terms of his training, he's training like a monster. He's learning all the time. I've seen his fights in Clapham. I've seen him, obviously, live. He's fought on my shows. His fight against Rahil, his first fight against Rahil, well, they've only had one. That was a good fight. I remember that was a step up, because Rahil was better than the southpaw Ryan faced, but Rahil was very tricky. He's quite hard to hit. So Ryan came in, I think he was with Stephen Walsh at that time. You can tell Ryan improved. His defense was cleaner. I could tell. I don't know if the public would know, but I knew. And that's how Ryan knows how much I know Ryan, because I know Ryan is just a train. Before he was a train, he was just coming at you. If it don't work, he's still going to come at you. But with Rahil, when shots were coming his way, he would tuck up, move around, and he was very intelligent. He understood, you know, you got the ring, move around, stay out of danger. You know, if you are, every now and then, throw a few shots and move around and pivot. So his awareness was just like, it was like day and night as soon as he had a coach, which is why I always recommend every fighter to always have a coach. Sometimes a coach is going to teach you what fighters normally won't be able to teach you. So you could tell Stephen Walsh's training. He's at Sherford. He's the head coach at Sherford Boxing, Sherfield Boxing. He was working on, you know, the technicalities, the technical aspect for Ryan Cabana. He knew Ryan was already physical. I knew Ryan was physical. When I saw the fight with Rahil, I was like, yeah, Ryan's clearly, he looks like the bigger guy. And but let me tell you this: they both made weight. They definitely made weight. And at 72 kg, he looked phenomenal. He looked bigger. I was like, wow, man, that's crazy. He was super fast. I remember when I spoke to Rahil about it when they drew. Rahil was like, he's rapid. He's very fast. He's got power as well. And then I remember Ryan. He fought on the August show. He fought against Jordan Sands. And Jordan Sands, I met him in Pure Gym. Jordan Sands is a gangster. And he's a switch hitter. He can switch stances. And Jordan's big as well, man. I met Jordan a few times in Pure. He's a big lad. So I remember him saying to me, look, you know, I want to fight, mate. I don't mind. I'll fight anyone. And I was like, look, you know what? You kind of like, physically you match up to this guy. I've seen you on the pads. You clearly have a certain set of skills here. I saw his fights. I saw some videos of his sparring. I thought to myself, I think him and Ryan Cabana is probably a good fight. And it turned out to be one of the best co-main events ever in August. Since then, Ryan Cabana's defended his title. So, in my opinion, I think Ryan's the most improved fighter under the CSL banner. That's my opinion. Whether some of you guys agree with that or not, I'll be interested to see what you think about it. Maybe you want to drop a comment on there. But in my opinion, I think Ryan Cabana was the most improved fighter. So, yeah. COVID-19 and 5G. COVID-19 news. Okay. So this person's asking me, do I believe in this conspiracy thing? Okay, so it's saying to me that COVID-19, is it real, is it not? And they're talking about 5G conspiracy towers. These are big topics, so I'm going to be honest with you. I'm probably not going to cover this. I'll probably cover it in the next episode because I'm looking to finish up. But the outbreak is crazy. It's crazy. For me, I can see why there is some conspiracies. There are some conspiracies about, you know, is it a biological weapon? Because there was some reports. You can go online. Apparently, it's online. You can check this. There's reports that the biological weapon was used basically, or there was an accident at the facility, because in Wuhan there's apparently a biological medical facility there, and there was an explosion. Apparently, this is what the conspiracy is, that there was an explosion, and this is why, you know, we are at this situation right now. The other side of it is obviously what the news told us. The news was saying that, look, it came from bats. I can see from both ways. it would make sense, if they were like, because we've seen it. Well, I haven't seen it in my lifetime, but Chernobyl was a massive example. So it's happened. Humanity have made mistakes before. Is this another one? That's what I want to know. I know there's a lot of blame on China because of bats, but this is my own little thinking about it, is, can a virus actually come from a bat that's been eaten for decades? I'm sure the Chinese, these guys were, and I'm not knocking off Chinese people, of course not, but I know that culturally they must have been eating this stuff for God knows how long. Why have all of a sudden has it turned into the coronavirus? And why is it now, bodying everyone, economically and physically and stuff? So, yeah, it's a crazy one, man. This whole outbreak, especially they're talking about, stay at home and stuff like that. But I can see the conspiracy side of things as well. I'm not going to try and be too much. I'm not going to try and be too much on the fence. But in my opinion, I think the virus is real. Of course, I do, because I work alongside NHS, so I know how busy it is. It's hectic. We do the recruitment side of things, so we're constantly dealing with employees all the time, making sure that their files are up to date and they've got the right skills to be able to deal with this COVID-19 outbreak. So we are definitely involved in it, but I'm nowhere near at the level of the guys that are in the front line. And I've seen videos. I get videos sent to me all the time from different people and coaches and fighters saying, hey, look, man, check this out. Look into it, like Eddie says, isn't it? And I look at some videos and there's, clearly people on the floor in hospitals because it's so busy. I have a few friends who have links as well with, institutions and stuff like that. Even in Italy, I have a friend of mine, Dan Cotana. He knows so many people in Italy. He knows a family there that said has been heavily affected. People have lost loved ones. Let's just say, it's serious. People have lost loved ones. So I think it's a bit disrespectful to say coronavirus isn't dangerous or isn't bad, or this whole outbreak is too much, or this whole shutdown from the country is exaggeration. The media are scaremongering. I'm gonna tell you, look, man, and I'm not a government fanboy, but the virus is clearly real. Like, you see videos of people doing live videos saying, I have the virus, I'm in bed now, and while they're talking, they're just coughing and spitting out the mucus, because apparently there's the second time it comes around you can get pneumonia, and that's not nice. It's like apparently breathing from a straw. So imagine that. Imagine you've got pneumonia and you're breathing through a straw, you're sweating your ass off, you're sneezing, your eyes are itchy, your body's weak, you're knackered, you're losing weight, you're losing gains. That's horrible, man. That's horrible. And, I can understand why people with underlying health issues would, contract this virus and react even worse. If you've got asthma, you're in fucking big trouble. You know what I mean? But I've also seen some people who have just got the flu or the cold and they prang out. I'll be honest with you, I pranged out when I had a cold or something. Maybe it was the virus, I don't know. But all I'm saying is, when I had this illness, when they were talking about it, I was just pranging, thinking, what the hell's going on here? I got fucking coronavirus. And I was in bed for a whole day. I was a write-off. I went to the sauna and I thought, am I going to feel better? This was before the lockdown, before anything. And I went to the sauna. I thought, let's just try and burn this shit feeling off. I feel like shit, mate. I'm freezing. I remember I was freezing. I was at work. I was feeling like shit, but I had to work. Obviously, I want to work. So after work, I'm going to the sauna. I'm thinking, okay, should I train? I was like, I can barely move. So I went to the sauna and I'm just pouring out. Got my headphones on and I've got the video outside the door and I'm just watching Countdown. At that time, it was Usman No, it wasn't even Usman and Colby. It was something else. It must have been another fight. Maybe I was watching a promo. But man, I felt like shit. I was pouring. I come out, I'm freezing. I go to the shower, I shower up. I come home, I lay down. And then the next day I'm fine. The next day I'm completely fine. I had a bit of cough. I'm not going to lie. I was coughing for about at least, let's say about a week, 2 weeks. But then I felt like, maybe this is a flu. Maybe this is just me not being ill for so long. I haven't been ill for a long time. To be honest, when I get ill, I get ill quite badly, and then my body's okay for the whole year. Whereas I don't get like little illnesses during the year, which probably I can imagine will keep you kind of immune to a lot of illnesses. But for me, it's just like I think my immune system is strong throughout the year, and then maybe after it's been ragged, it's just getting shot up and then just reset for the whole year. So maybe it could be that. I don't know. I just know that maybe it's affecting everyone different. But yeah, I mean, it's a serious outbreak, and I think I've seen some comments on Facebook about it. It's upsetting. I know a few people have lost loved ones. The people in NHS that are even working are losing lives. I don't know how they don't have the right gear, because I'm hearing staff are getting ill. What the hell is that about? Staff are getting ill, mate, because we don't have proper protective gear for these guys. And we've lost a lot of staff members in the NHS. And I saw a comment on Facebook. I see some shit. And this lady was mentioning about how the NHS are chilling. I'm not going to mention her name, because obviously it's disrespectful. But she was like, she posted a video. It was a video about this freshy guy's recording it. He's saying, look, nobody outside the hotel and shit, the hospital and that. And it's in Valencia in Spain. The hospital's quiet. To be honest, this video could have been fabricated. He could have been just talking over it and recording an old video, because there was no verification for a date. But he was just talking a lot of rubbish, saying, look, this hospital's not busy, this is bullshit. And then she shared this video and had the audacity to say, the NHS are chilling. That's the problem. We've got a lot of ignorant people here. I can understand why she might be saying some of these things. You're going to see some of that stuff. Yeah, cool. I get it. But this is another scaremongering tactic, maybe, from the conspiracy side of things. Because really, you can't be saying the NHS is chilling. I remember I wrote down saying, look, you're not at every single hospital, mate. Yeah? And a lot of hospitals are rammed. And I know, because I work alongside some of these hospitals. And then she's like, nah, trust me, most of them don't. I've got connections. What bloody connections you got, mate? But yeah, send them my way. But bare people were saying, look, man, shut up, you're talking a lot of shit. And then she started mentioning about the 5G tower, which is probably, I'm going to finish the episode on this, the 5G tower bullshit. I've seen 2 videos about the 5G towers. They're quite convincing. They were talking more about the virus is fake and that it's an economic move. This lockdown is a move because economically they want to, destabilize whatever it is, countries or economies, and they want to lock down people more and control them more and all this tinfoil hat stuff. Some of this stuff, I believe, of course, which is quite crazy, but it's true. We know that the government hides stuff from us. That's normal. But the 5G's conspiracy, I think we're pushing a bit too much now. We're really sticking it on the government a bit too much. I can understand why you stick it against the government, because there's a few policies that we might be pissed off as a nation with. But when you start chucking the 5G theory at me, and I look at it, I'm thinking, look, it makes sense, I get it. But this group, whoever this group is, this is from the conspiracy side of things, would they benefit from a whole nation of people ill, affected, can't work? I don't think it works. Because you got to remember, right? For a country to run, you need the majority of people to be working, paying tax. If you're doing them over, less people are paying taxes, less people are working. Do you really think that's a good result? Do you want that? If anything, you're losing control. That's going to increase, crime and unemployment, depression, mental health. You could talk about riots then. You'll probably start seeing revolutions and riots and fights kicking off every now and then. It'll be crazy. It'll be hell on the streets if this 5G shit was affecting us in that sense or whatever. And it's crazy because a rumor like that has now, I've seen people getting attacked. A friend of mine says to me that he was working alongside BT. And by the way, BT they don't do anything with 5G towers. They don't work with that. It's another company that's been outsourced. All right. So these telecom companies are using another company to install these towers. It's not BT or these other companies. Maybe they've done a deal with them on the sly. This is just speculation. But what I'm saying is some of these guys are getting affected. Like some of these guys are just doing their job, even if it's got to do with a telecom or not. But because someone doesn't understand what a fucking transformer is and what a tower is, they still think it's okay to attack them. And I've heard stories where people being attacked, one guy got stabbed. That's how mad it is. So this 5G conspiracy shit is mad. Jeez, the last 6 months have been mental with what's going on, man. You've got the Amazon fires. You've got the Australian bushfire. I remember New Zealand. I saw a video. The New Zealand shooter. Jeez. May Allah bless those souls that lost their life, man. Mad. And now we're hearing conspiracy stuff about 5G, mind control. Oh, it's going to affect your immune system. Well, mate, this is what I think, in my opinion. You've got a phone. You've got a laptop. Most people in this country have a phone, a laptop. Yeah? Your phone, unless you're going to turn it off, it's going to emit radiation. A lot of people, I bet you, have their phone under their pillow, under their bed, even if it's near them. A lot of people are going to have their laptop. Either it's on sleep mode or what. You telling me that doesn't emit radiation? That emits tons of radiation. But yeah, I think that's going to be the end of the podcast. I think that's enough. I've spoken about most of these questions. The next episode, what I plan to do is I've finished up the editing of Amr Kiani's second pro fight. My editing takes long. I'm sorry. I'm learning this new software I'm learning about. It's quite tough, man. But I'm gonna analyze that fight, and then what I'll do, maybe the next episodes that are coming up, I will call someone. I probably have to build up my confidence to do this. So I'll call someone and then interview them on Skype and see how it goes. But I think for now I've got enough out there as an introduction for this podcast. So thank you for watching this. Feel free to share it. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Follow the YouTube channel. Follow my Instagram at Showtime with Ali. And also I am Ali Wahid, and also at Combat Sports League. These are my main channels. So do check them out. And what we'll do is we'll look at some new content to post. I've got so many things to talk about. Let my confidence build up slowly, inshallah. And I'm looking forward to interviewing people. I think that's what I'm more excited about, is interviewing people. So we'll get to that bit inshallah soon. And yeah, I'll see you guys very soon. Thank you very much, and stay safe out there.
He is fighting out of the blue corner. He is the reigning